The information shared in this content represents the personal views of the author and guests. It does not reflect the opinions, ideas, policies, or views of PBC Punjabi Business Channel or its staff. The content provided is for informational purposes only, and this should not be accorded as a financial advice. The accuracy or completeness of the information presented or accessed through any links is not guaranteed by Punjabi Business Channel or the host. Punjabi Business Channel and the host are not liable for any errors or omissions in the information or for any consequences resulting from its display or use.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਚੈਨਲ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਰੀਅਲ ਏਸਟੇਟ, ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਤੇ ਇਕਨੋਮੀ ਦੀ। ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਸਟਾਕ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦੀ। ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਦਵਿੰਦਰ ਸੋਹੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਫਰੋਮ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਭਾਜੀ, ਗੁੱਡ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਜੀ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਗਿਨੀ, ਗੁੱਡ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੇਖਣ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ
ਜੀ। ਕਾਫੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਜੋ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਵੈਲਕਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ। ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਠਿੰਡ ਜੀ ਗੁੱਡ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਗੁਰਜੰਟ ਜੀ ਗੁੱਡ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਜੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਨਸਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਜੀ ਬਰਾੜ ਜੀ ਵਿਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ। ਤੇ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਭਾਜੀ ਫਿਰ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਇੱਥੇ। ਤੇ ਜੇ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਜੀ ਸਟਾਰਟ, ਲਾਸਟ ਆਪਾਂ 4-5 ਦਿਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਦੇਖੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਰੈੱਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਲੋਜ਼ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਆ। ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਦਿਨ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਬਣ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਡੇਟਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਣ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਭਾਜੀ। ਫਿਰ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ, ਕੀ ਡੇਟਾ ਆਇਆ ਭਾਜੀ, ਕੀ ਐਕਸਪੈਕਟਡ ਸੀਗੇ ਨੰਬਰ ਤੇ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਅਫੈਕਟ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ?
So, but this is the data everybody was waiting for, and I think a lot of people just want to see where the market is going today, especially given that the CPI is dependent on how big or to the upside or the downside. What is it going to do to the interest rates? So this morning we had the CPI data, which is a core CPI. This excludes the food and energy. So this data came at actually 0.3%, and the forecast was 0.3%. But the last time this data came in at actually 0.2%. So still, this data came at a little bit higher than the last time. And then we look at the regular CPI, which includes the food and energy, and that data came in at actually 0.2%. Which was the same as the forecast of 0.2%, but it was actually lower than the previous version, which was 0.3%. So overall, if you look at year over year in the CPI data, that's actually has gone down. The forecast was 2.8%. And that actually came at 2.7%, which was the same as the last month's data. So we were actually expecting this inflation to come in higher. So it wasn't as high. So it's 2.7%, which is a good number. And which is causing the market on the short term to the upside. It possibly maybe even go to the all-time highs and maybe even break them. Because what basically this data is doing is telling us that the next Fed meeting, when they do have it, that they should at least cut a quarter point in interest rates and maybe even possible even a half.
ਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ। ਤੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੰਟਰਸਟ ਰੇਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਜੀ, ਜੋ ਡੇਟਾ ਹੈ ਅੱਜ। ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਭਾਈ ਨੰਬਰ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਥਰਸਡੇ ਤੇ ਫਰਾਈਡੇ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹ ਨੰਬਰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਜੀ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਨੂੰ?
Very similar numbers. We got Thursday numbers, that PPI numbers are coming out. Then on Friday, we got the retail numbers coming out, how people are spending out there. And then right after that, we get consumer sentiment. So lots of data coming out.
ਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ। ਤੇ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਜੀ, ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਫਿਰ ਅੱਜ ES ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ?
So if you're looking, let's look at the charts here. Let me add that in here. Entire window.
ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ES ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ 22 ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਦੀ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਬਣ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਆਲਮੋਸਟ 0.25% ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ। ਤੇ ਨੈਸਡੈਕ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਨੈਸਡੈਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੋੜੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਆਲਮੋਸਟ 0.5% ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ। ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਗੋਲਡ ਦੀ। ਗੋਲਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 0.25% ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਗਿਰਾਵਟ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਕਾਪਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਾਪਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 1.5% ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਬਣ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ।
So if you're looking at the ES chart here, we're basically sitting at all-time highs here. It's trying to break out to the upside here. So pretty solidly sitting at 64.23. The market is up 24. Yesterday, the market was basically flat. And he wait kar rahe iske bhi numbers kitna aane aaj savere. So those numbers, it waited for those numbers. Now the market is kind of pushing a little bit to the upside. Even the NASDAQ, which is sitting at 105 points to the upside right now, and could continue to the upside as well. So NASDAQ, and when we look at the overall, the inflation numbers, what effect does it have on the 10-year? 10-year should be really getting pushed to the downside. This it initially did go to the downside, but it's holding its footing at 4.27% right now. But I still
ਜੀ
look at the next, if you're getting interest rate cuts in September, I think it should go to around 4% by the September rolls around. And that would be drop about a quarter point on the 10-year. And that would be a lot good news for also Donald Trump, trying to get his debt in order. And this is also pushing the dollar, the US dollar to the downside. So the
ਜੀ
dollar is weak. And overall, the US dollar is weak against the euro, the Japanese yen, and the pound, and all the other currencies. So I see a further downside in the American dollar as we are going towards more and more, monetary policy that is being going to the downside.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਜੋ ਡੇਟਾ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਇੰਟਰਸਟ ਰੇਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੱਟ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਭਾਜੀ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੋਲਡ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਸੇਮ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਆ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ 1/4% ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਗ੍ਰਾਫਟ ਆ ਸਿਲਵਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਸਿਲਵਰ ਫਲੈਟਿਸ਼ ਰੈਡ ਆ ਜੀ ਅੱਜ ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਫਿਰ ਭਾਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਟਾਕਸ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਅਰਨਿੰਗਸ ਆਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੋਲਡ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਕੋਈ ਵਿਊ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਜੀ
So why is gold going down? Gold is going down because what we were expecting inflation to pick up. And if the inflation had picked up, we would have seen gold as a hedge and gold would have gone up or higher in price. And since this inflation has come to the downside, gold is now down about 13-14 bucks. I see a further downside in gold, and it has come down to a little bit. Maybe the target that I initially had when this thing was going down here was around the 3,200. And I
ਜੀ
still have the target. Maybe it's coming back to at least the 3,300 level. After that, if we get to 3,300, possibly 3,200, but a lot has to depend on what sort of inflation numbers we're going to get in the next few months.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੋਲਡ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਟਾਕਸ ਨੇ ਭਾਜੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੇਂਜ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਖਾਸ ਕਰ ਅਰਨਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਟਾਕਸ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਅਰਨਿੰਗਸ ਵਾਲੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜੀ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਠਿੰਡ ਜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਆ ਜੀ ਫਸਟ ਇਹ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ VVNK ਸਟਾਕ ਬਾਰੇ ਪੁੱਛ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਭਾਜੀ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ
BBNK is a Versa bank. It's a small little bank out of coming out of London, and it's sitting going to the downside a little bit. If you look at its chart, it has gone very for a long time to the upside. Any expansion to the US side. US side expansion is not sitting very well with them because if you look at the last 4 or 5 quarters, they have not been able to beat their earnings. And it cost them a lot of money going into the US, so more than they expected to. And that's why this stock is down. So we'll see the next earnings that come out in September that are coming out very soon here on what date? It's September 9th. We'll be able to see are there improvements in the American expansion. If there's improvement in the American expansion, we could see the stock turn around back to the upside. But the expectation so far, it has disappointed about 3-4 times already. So we'll see what it comes at in September, and we'll make a decision on then whether we're still going to continue holding out the stock or not. This is the American price, by the way, at $10 right now.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਵਰਸਾ ਬੈਂਕ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੀ ਗੁਰਜੰਟ ਸਿੰਘ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਆ ਜੀ ਇਹ Costco ਐਂਡ ਲਿਲੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਪੁੱਛ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਆਨਸਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ
Costco is a good stock. It continues to go up. People continue to spend a lot of money in Costco. So I like Costco. It had a nice dip, and I think it still could go higher to the upside. Can it go back to the all-time high? Sure it can, because the earnings have been pretty much increasing. They're all they have to do is increase a little bit, maybe more on the entrance fee, and this stock could have even more higher. But I like Costco. Costco is good. No advertising. People walk in, you look at the numbers. When you look at the fundamental numbers, all look pretty steady, right? Looking at statistics, these numbers are, except the price to earnings is a little bit high, but price to sales is just perfect. And overall, and the revenue continues to grow on this store. They don't advertise anywhere. They don't spend a lot of money. So
ਜੀ
this stock continues to go up. It's almost like 280 billion in sales in which they had last year, and they keep on increasing quarter by quarter. So I would continue. I would buy this stock. It was a nice dip. Somebody asked me, I think a little while ago when it was coming down, I said wait for it to turn around back to the upside, and it did a very nice job turning around. So if you bought it on the turnaround here, around at $947, sitting almost back to $1,000. Will it go over $1,000? I think pretty sure it can.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਭਾਜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਲੀਲਾ LILA ਲਿਬਰਟੀ ਲੈਟਿਨ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਲਿਮਟਿਡ ਇਹ ਨੈਸਡੈਕ ਤੇ ਲਿਸਟਡ ਆ ਜੀ $7 ਦਾ ਸਟਾਕ ਆ ਇਹ
What is it? LILA?
ਜੀ
Liberty Latin America. Okay, no. Nice chart, nice U shape. This is what I'm talking about when the stock is, wait for it to turn around when they're going down like this. So this had a nice turnaround. They look like it's a kind of break point here. So overall, if I look at the chart, it looks terrible. I mean, look at that stock. It's basically to the downside. So, but what are the fundamentals telling us? Let's take a look. First of all, what does the stock do? Stock is in the provisions of fixed, mobile, and subsea telecommunication. Okay, telecommunication in the Caribbean. So the numbers don't look good. Market cap 1.52 billion. Overall, this price to sales ratio is just way too low. That means they're making a lot of sales. They're not making a profit. Profit margins are not there. So these numbers don't look very impressive. And if you look at revenue is sort of okay, and it's going to the downside. Overall, there are better companies than this. So I would, fundamentally and technically, I would just stay away from the stock.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਭਾਈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਿਸਕੋ ਵੀ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ
Cisco, is it Cisco SYSCO or
ਹੈਗਾ ਭਾਈ
CSCO?
$71 ਦੇ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਟੈਲੀਕਮਿਊਨੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਕਵਿਪਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਟਾਕ ਟੈਲੀਕਮਿਊਨੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਕਵਿਪਮੈਂਟ ਵਾਲੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਅੱਜ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਕੈਪ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਠੀਕ ਆ ਲਾਸਟ ਵਾਲੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਭਾਈ 1 ਬਿਲੀਅਨ ਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਕੈਪ ਸੀ 8 ਬਿਲੀਅਨ ਦਾ ਡੈਟ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਟਾਕ ਦਾ ਚਾਰਟ ਤਾਂ ਸਹੀ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਜੀ
So if you're looking at technically, the chart looks not too bad. It's sitting at all-time highs. It's going up. Telecommunications sector has suffered a lot in the last few years. And this year, I think it's going to make comeback, whether we're talking about Cisco, Bell Canada, Thales, all these telcos were down. So they're trying to make a return back to the upside. So if you're looking at Cisco here, let's take a look at fundamentally what it's telling us. 279, pretty strong company, $279 billion. So overall revenue, very strong to the upside, pretty steady, over 45 to 60 billion. If you look at statistics numbers, pretty reasonable, having been a technology company. But the only thing with Cisco is a pretty strong growth company. And it has the market cap is pretty strong to the upside. And the chart looks good. But to me, it just looks like a little bit of overvaluation on the numbers, but it's still not too bad. If you have it, I would hang on to it. But if you're looking for it to buy, I would wait. But if you have it, put a tighter stop loss and play it that way.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਵਰ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਸਟਾਕ ਖਾਸ ਕਰ ਟੈਲੀਕਮਿਊਨੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਜਸਕਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਆਇਆ ਜੀ ਐਨਾਲਿਸਿਸ ਕਰਿਓ FSS ਇਹ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਸਿਗਨਲ ਕਾਰਪੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਭਾਜੀ ਨੈਸਡੈਕ ਤੇ ਲਿਸਟਡ ਆ ਜੀ $128 ਦਾ ਸਟਾਕ ਆ ਚਾਰਟ ਭਾਜੀ ਸਹੀ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਮੋਟਰ ਵਹੀਕਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਜੀ ਕੰਜ਼ਿਊਮਰੇਬਲ ਗੁਡਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ
Yeah.
ਤੇ ਜੀ
So the stock doesn't look too bad. It's technically it's ready to break out. Looks like above 128 bucks, 128.50. Look like a good spot where it can push to the upside. So it doesn't look too bad overall. But let's take a look at fundamentally what this company does. Federal Signal Corporation, manufacturer of product integrated solution for municipal government. Okay. Not very clear. It's more like into an environment solutions group. But basically what they do is not very clear in their description here. But
ਜੀ
if you look at the market cap, it's 7.69 billion, small little bit dividend. Price to earnings statistics look like sort of a little bit high on the price to historically, it's a little high. Price to sales doesn't look too bad historically. Price to cash flow is a little high. And even the book value was high. So looking at the fundamental numbers are a little expensive. Okay. What about revenue growth? Revenue is growing nicely.
ਜੀ
And overall, it's not bad fundamentally, but the numbers, are good. But can they push the stock even higher? So that's where I kind of disagree that the fundamental numbers may not be able to hold this stock up, but technically this stock could break out, and then I would play it by having tighter stops on it. But again, it had a pretty good run, and though the fundamentals are kind of looking a little bit expensive for me.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਸਿਗਨਲ ਕਾਰਪੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਤੇ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਸਟਾਕ ਤੇ ਮੂਵ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਔਜਲਾ ਬਲਜਿੰਦਰ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਕੈਨ ਯੂ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਐਨਾਲਾਈਜ਼ CRMT ਮਾਈ ਐਵਰੇਜ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸ ਇਜ਼ 56 CRMT ਸਟਾਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਾਇੰਗ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸ 56
CRNT Kragan Networks.
ਇਹ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਅਮਰੀਕਾਜ਼ ਕਾਰ-ਮਾਰਟ ਇਨਕੋਰਪੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਭਾਜੀ ਅਮਰੀਕਾਜ਼ ਕਾਰ-ਮਾਰਟ ਇਨਕੋਰਪੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ CRMT
But put the ticker in the chat, please.
ਜੀ
Sometimes it just
ਜੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਚੈਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਤਾ ਭਾਜੀ
CRMT. Okay.
ਜੀ
Okay.
ਚਾਰਟ ਜੀ
Yeah. CRMT chart doesn't look too good. So I don't know what price did he buy? 56.
56 ਭਾਜੀ.
Okay. Yeah, the chart looks terrible, but it's sitting. The only thing is it is sitting at support. Can it turn around from here? Let's take a look at the fundamentals. What the fundamentals telling us? They're into Car-mart, sale model, vehicles in the provisions of facing its dealership. Okay, they're into car business. 371 million. So it's a very small company. And it's probably got very small number of shares outstanding, right? 8 This is where the risk is. You're first of all, the company is very small. You got a very low floater here. The stock can move up very quickly. The stock can move to the downside very quickly. So that you got yourself. That's why there's the problem with this stock here. So what can it do? Looking at let's take a look at the fundamental numbers. Fundamental numbers looks okay. Okay, but a little bit of bad news, this stock can push to the downside very quickly. A little bit of good news can also push this stock to the upside very quickly. So this is a low floater. So to me, I don't try to get into low floaters. They're kind of very high risk for me. So I tend to stay away from them. But from this year, the fundamentals look okay. But I would hang on to long as this stock I can. If it breaks below $37, I think I would be out of below 37. If it goes below 37, it can go down very quickly. But if it can turn around here to the upside, get your money out, if it goes back to 56 or what, I would be very quickly to take the money out of this stock.
ਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਇਹ ਸਟਾਕ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਉਣਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਖਾਸ ਕਰ ਆਪਦੇ ਐਵਰੇਜ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਤੇ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਭਾਜੀ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਸਟਾਕ ਟਿਮ ਮਹਿੰਗੀ ਜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਆਇਆ ਐਨਾਲਿਸਿਸ ਔਨ CRCL ਐਂਡ AVAV ਇਹ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ CRCL ਤੋਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਭਾਜੀ
CRCL is a day trader stock. It's a new IPO. We bought it this morning at 170.
ਜੀ
$170 this morning. If you were with us in our Discord, you would have got it at 170. It's sitting at 185 this morning.
ਜੀ
So this is going up. I think it might even hit maybe, I don't know, possibly $190. So it has pulled up really nicely. But this is the reason I would say they came out with earnings. They beat their revenue very high, and that's why the stock is getting pushed up. So even though the numbers look negative, this is a new company. The revenue is more important than actually earnings per share to it right now. So the revenue increase was really kind of impressive from the year-over-year number, not over quarter by quarter or the estimate number. The year-over-year number was really impressive, and that's why this stock getting pushed to the upside. So it's sitting at 185. Which should you buy it now? It kind of it had a nice run. Remember, let me put it on hourly here. Look at this hour chart. Remember, we picked this up at about 170 this morning, just as it was breaking above here. So this was earlier between 6 and 7 in the morning. And yes, you can trade these stocks early in the morning if you're with Interactive Brokers. These stock trades start trading at 4 o'clock in the morning. So a lot of people, trade early in the morning and make good money. By the time 9:30 rolls around, they're sitting on a beach somewhere.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਟਾਕ ਸਰਕਲ। ਨੈਕਸਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਜੀ AVAV। ਇਹ ਸਟਾਕ 245 ਤੇ ਆ ਜੀ। ਚਾਰਟ ਇਹਦਾ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਚਾਰਟ ਭਾਈ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਮਤਲਬ ਅਪਸਾਈਡ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ, ਬਟ ਰਾਈਟ ਨਾਓ ਪ੍ਰੀਵੀਅਸ ਹਾਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 245 ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਅਰਨਿੰਗਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਆ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜੀ 3 ਸਤੰਬਰ ਨੂੰ।
Yeah, so the stock looks not too bad on the chart. Technically, it's a little bit down, but it's got a strong support around $236, which it can pump back to the upside or can hold there. But let's take a look at what the stock does. This stock is into production of multi-domain robotic. Okay, they're into robotics. Okay, something that I'm high on. And this thing has a 12 billion in market cap. 12 billion in market cap. What does the revenue look like? Revenue is increasing. They're getting close to $1 billion in revenue. So what I look at in robotics is I specifically look at a lot of revenue growth. And this company doesn't have that bad. There's better companies out there that have even more revenue growth, because I think the next factor in technology that's going to go higher are the robotics. So I think this stock can continue, maybe turn around back to the upside. I like it. It has a very good chart, hitting the new highs, but just watch it can hold this level here around this 235 level or 237 level. If it can hold that and push back up, I would be a buyer.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ AVAV ਸਟਾਕ ਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਹੋਰ ਸਟਾਕਸ ਨੇ ਭਾਈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਅਰਨਿੰਗਸ ਵੀ ਆਈਆਂ ਨੇ, ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਕਾਫੀ, ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਨਸਰ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜੀ। ਇੰਟੈਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਭਾਜੀ 2% ਦੀ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ, ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਟਾਕ ਨੇ CE ਇੱਕ ਸਟਾਕ ਆ ਜੀ, ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਡਾਊਨ ਆਇਆ ਜੀ 16%। ਸਨਕਲੇਅਰ ਸਟਾਕ ਆ 21% ਦੀ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਆਈ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇ ON ਹੋਲਡਿੰਗ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬੀਟ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਕੁਆਰਟਰ ਦੇ ਨੰਬਰ ਤੇ 10% ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਆ ਭਾਈ। ਪਾਲੋ ਆਲਟੋ ਤੇ ON ਹੋਲਡਿੰਗ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ।
Which one?
ਪਾਲੋ ਆਲਟੋ ਭਾਜੀ।
I think we just did that. PNW.
ਜੀ
Yeah, we did that just a few minutes ago.
ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਡਿਸਕਸ।
Okay, I see the list in front of me, so I'll quickly go through the list. Somebody asked about Enbridge dividend play. I like Enbridge for long term, not only a dividend that grows. I think the stock is really good. Can it continue to the upside? I think it can. We bought it at 44, 45. When the dividend was extremely high, it's breaking out to the new highs here. This dividend is paying out Friday, August 15th. So a lot of people could buy this for dividend. So this could pull higher to the upside. Definitely, if you got Enbridge, definitely hang on to it. Not only short term, long term, this stock can continue to the upside. So that's a little bit Enbridge. Somebody asked about SOUN. let's quickly. This is a high risk AI stock. I don't know if I want to be in it. It's pulling back up to nicely to the upside, but it's just because of AI technology, they had a little bit of growth on their revenue as well. This is why this stock is pumping to the upside. So, but still a money losing company. Their technology is a little bit different. They're into more like into sound and stuff, AI sound and stuff. But again, there are a lot of companies doing the same thing. So how good this company compared to the other ones? On the short term, it's okay. It's going up on the revenue, but long
ਜੀ
term, there are better companies out there, I think, than SUN. And then also we got Kohl's, I think KOHL. I like this company, but the problem it's a retailer that has come down a lot to the downside. And this was a short squeeze. This stock was really shorted to the downside. So when the short squeeze happened, people started buying the stock and pushing it to the upside. So what did the short sellers have to do? They had to buy the stock back. And when they had to buy the stock back, they pushed the price even higher. So that's what happened to this stock here. It was very cheap as it was getting down here. And I think it's a stock is still okay. I think it can make again, it's part of the rest of the retail. So can it come back with the rest of the retail? I think it can. I think there's many stores in the US for Kohl's. But if you want to buy like a retailer, I think Target, TGT, I think it's probably a better stock and much more fundamentally strong as well.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ
And the
ਡਿਸਕਸ
next one looks like a Snapchat. Okay. Quickly gonna go through. Snapchat is to the bottom here. Again, somebody asked yesterday. Again, if it breaks below $7, I would not be a holder of this stock. Again, this was going to be alternative to TikTok. Never happened. TikTok is still in business, so I would I wouldn't be in Snapchat right now. MP stock. Let's take a look at it quickly on that one. Material, I like this one. It had a very good run to the upside. We were recommending it this was a couple of months ago when it started breaking out back here. So if you made good money already, it had a very good run. I don't know if you should buy it on a higher basis here. It becomes a risky when it gets to this high. I like the breakouts. Right now, it's not showing me it's going to break out anywhere. So the breakout was down here, and the next breakout was here, and the next breakout was here. There's nothing breaking out here that I see that can happen. So I would wait. I would wait patiently somewhere when it's setting up as a breakout stock. That's when I would get into it. Hive Digital, HIV on Vancouver. Let's take a look at it quickly. We looked at this stock before. I can't remember what exactly we did with it. Chart's going sideways. Doesn't look too good. I would not, get into this one. But on the chart basis, what do the fundamentals look like? Fundamentals, no price to earnings ratio. Price to sales ratio is not bad. Book value is not bad. Cash flow is a little bit, but what about the earnings? Earnings are negative. I would just stay away from a company with a negative earning. Charts doesn't look too good. So I would stay away from that one. And a whole bunch of Jay Barard asked me, they're all my favorite stocks that he's put on the list. I like to buy, they're all buys, except maybe CMG right now. But Procter & Gamble, GIS, GIS, CNC, CNR, Berkshire Hathaway, I would all DCA it, yes. Especially BRK, GIS, CNC. I just started buying CNC later. CNR, definitely a buy. Procter & Gamble is definitely a buy, but just CMG is, the chart doesn't look too good. I would kind of stay away from that. Say if you look at CMG here.
ਜੀ
So Chipotle is going to the downside. Wait for it to turn around to the upside. That's when maybe I'll take a look at CMG as a good buy. So, okay. So there we go. We done all the stocks there.
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਸਮਰਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਭਾਜੀ ਫਿਰ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਤੇ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ ਜੀ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਰ ਨਵੇਂ ਸਟਾਕਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਨਵੀਂ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ
Yep. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Sat Sri Akal ji ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ।
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਤੇ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ।
The information shared in this content represents the personal views of the author and guests. It does not reflect the opinions, ideas, policies, or views of PBC Punjabi Business Channel or its staff. The content provided is for informational purposes only, and this should not be accorded as a financial advice. The accuracy or completeness of the information presented or accessed through any links is not guaranteed by Punjabi Business Channel or the host. Punjabi Business Channel